Here we are. Hey, it's John Fletcher with Doc the Puppy and our good buddy Bob Tallman, and we're doing a special edition of 15 on Fridays with Fletch about the Fort Worth Rodeo. Bob, what do you got to tell us?
Well, we're 8 days in and about 12 days to go.
That's it. So be watching 15 on Fridays with Fletch and learn all the stuff about the rodeo, and we'll look forward to seeing you here.
So now, please welcome the official, non-official, non-sponsor of the Savannah Bananas, but a big fan. Please welcome John Fletcher.
Well, thank you, my friend Jesse Cole from the Savannah Bananas, and welcome to 15 on Fridays with Fletch. If you've attended one of America's largest rodeos, odds are that you've heard the dynamic baritone voice of our guest, Bob Tallman. These include our Fort Worth Stock Show and Rodeo, the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo, and the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas. He's been on the road for as many as 300 days per year during his career, and he's performed in more than 18,000 times as an announcer. He's been the spokesman for prestigious brands like Wrangler Jeans, Boot Barn, American Hat Company, and our mutual client, Ag Texas Farm Credit. He's a 12-time PRCA Announcer of the Year. He's a member of all kinds of halls of fame, including the National Cowboy Hall of Fame and the Pro Rodeo Hall of Fame. He's also a foundation member for the Texas 4-H. One of the great achievements is he's raised more than $4 million to fight pediatric cancer through his golf tournament, the Bob Tallman Cow Pasture Pool Tournament. He's also a realtor and a rancher, and you can buy the beef he raises under the name 3T Angus Beef. He'll even sell you the ranch to raise your own beef on. So please welcome to 15 on Fridays with Fletch, the voice of Pro Rodeo, my good friend, Bob Tallman.
My God, whoa. It's not about me, it's all about him.
That's it. I got to say, Bob's a believer. We share our Christian faith very openly, and Bob, people love, especially, there have been a lot of times that you've done Cowboy's Prayer at some of your rodeos as well.
Well, you need to understand that if you base an audience, set an audience, and put the hook in an audience, and you're faith-based in doing it, 99.999% that audience will go with you, and they'll receive his message, your and my message, and from that we buck them, and we buck them hard.
That's it. Bob, everybody wants to know how you got into rodeo announcing. How did it start?
Well, I didn't ride very good, and a few bucking horses and a few bulls, and I said, my goodness, the guy paid me $100 one time to help a lady announce a rodeo about 60 years ago. And I said, there'll never be another poor day. And I had to put the bareback rig and the rope and the bull rope away. And it's been wonderful for 60 years.
Well, not only that, Bob, but also you probably never break a bone when you're announcing, right?
Well, not necessarily, because I've done it a horseback about half of my career. So maybe say 10,000 performances were a horseback, including the Astrodome in Houston, to the Calgary Stampede to Reno, Nevada. I always tell people, they say, where have you been? I said, Denver, Fort Worth, Houston, San Antonio, Austin, Lake Charles, Louisiana, and Jackson, Mississippi. That all took place in the first 90 days.
Wow. So what makes you different about being an announcer?
Well, I don't know if I'm different or not, John, but when I came along in the early 1970s, it was pretty stoic of what they did, how they said it, and be name, hometown, time, score, what a great day it is, good night, Irene, and they were out of it. And I said, there's better stories to tell about these people, the men, the women, their families, the generations before them. And not everybody came from a ranch in Texas. Bobby Del Vecchio came from the Bronx in New York. New York City was a big place where cowboys come from, and still today, they come out of the Northeast in that frontier circuit. So telling a story about what a guy has done, or his dad or his grandfather did, I believe is just as important as about the performance that he puts on for 8 seconds or maybe 15 seconds in the time defense.
So tell us about your secret for getting the audience's attention.
I think you got to set your hook in the first 6 seconds on television, the first 60 seconds live, and those that have a simulcast that go to radio. Sometimes if you have pre-show time, you can tell the story about who's up, what they're going to do, where they came from, who produces the rodeo, where you are, We might be in Dickies Arena at Fort Worth. It could be in NRG Stadium in Houston. We could be in Sydney, Australia, where I've spent 3 different years of my life in Australia. Could be at the Calgary Stampede, where I spent over 40 years, and trying to correlate the local moment with what's going to happen in that arena. Could be a small arena in Plains, Montana. Population 900 people, 6,000 people a day come to Sanders County. Or the biggest rodeo in the world in Houston, when we're there for 20 performances.
Wow. And so you have this story, what you do to lower your voice to get attention. Tell us about that.
Well, I had a great leader. His name was Paul Harvey. He gave me an award one time for the National Broadcasters Association. And Paul Harvey said, Bob, when you think you've lost your audience, just whisper to them. And the first thing they're going to do is look around and go, where'd he go? What's he saying? What did I miss? And you get your audience back. You got to remember that when you put 8,000, 10,000 people or 2,000 people in a confined area, they want to visit with the guy over here. You lose track of them on the camera. They think about having a drink of a Coca-Cola, a cold beer, might be eating a hot dog or having some popcorn, trying to read the program on their knee. I tell people, buy a program, sit on it, take it home with you and read about what we do, because you want people to be able to cheer. You want people to get involved. And your inflection, whether it be low tones, quiet tones, and there have been a time or two when an audience just got so noisy, I just got quiet. And immediately they look around.
Wow. So now, yeah, every rodeo's got, every rodeo has its special attributes. Tell me what's special about Dickies Arena in Fort Worth.
Oh my God. Well, you know, I've been there 50 years this year, and I'm going to retire in the 2026 season. I'm not quitting, but they're going to retire me. It's 50 years. And I started in the Will Rogers Coliseum, about 4,200 people. Now we have 9,000. You've got the lower seats, the box seats, the mezzanine level, suite level, and then the upper level. No matter where you look, we have a big screen there that's 20 by 40, and it plays 4 different directions. There's no posts in the way, like there was in Will Rogers. You had to look around the posts sometimes. And the only thing different, it's an ivory tower. And Mr. Ed Bass, God bless him for what he's done in building it. Brad Barnes, who officiated it. And when you think about Matt Carter, he was the engineer. He is now the acting CEO. They had years to plan this, along with the mayors in the city of Fort Worth. It's easy to park, easy to get into. And the only thing that we're missing is the smell we had in Will Rogers. It's that old dirt and that old building. They painted over, 50, 60 years. About every 10 years they paint it. Well, they painted all those germs and all that smell and all the chili smell and hot dogs and hamburgers. But in the Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, and I love to do this on the Cowboy Channel every week someplace in the country, I invite people to come to Fort Worth. It's my big hometown welcome. And I'll be there for years doing other things and be involved with the Ag Mechanics Division, the 4-H, and the FFA kids. I'm a believer the more you give, the better you get at giving. And pretty soon you just keep on giving. You'd be surprised. A big paycheck come around the corner someplace for recognition. I don't need a pat on the back. I just need more time in my life. At 77 years old, about to be 78. And when I turn 100, John, you and I are going to figure out what I'm going to do for the next 25 years.
Sounds great. Well, and also you've referred to Dickies Arena as Bass Hall on dirt.
It is Bass Hall with dirt in it. And I'm a fan of the opera, and I love to go to Bass Hall downtown Fort Worth. I love to go to anything that you have in that arena, because that building has the most perfect sound in the world. You can yell 3 miles in that building, 3 miles without ever raising your voice. Opera houses are the greatest sound in the world because they all use natural sound. Now they use invented sound as well. But God bless Ed Bass, his family, the city of Fort Worth, the 4 mayors that I've worked with that got us from when I came in 1976 to 2026.
Wow. Tell us about what makes Houston special.
Big, richest, longest, best stars. There's 9 million people in the 17 Go Texan counties that
Yeah.
surround the city of Houston. So we go from Bay City and the Gulf right to Houston. And when you think about, we put 74 to 75,000 in there, 20 different nights. And they're mid-afternoon shows on the weekends. Wednesdays are bargain days and doesn't cost anything to get in the grounds. In the last few years, I've seen anywhere from 150 to 160,000 people on the ground at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. That's where we take our traffic count. And there's no way that you can park up close. I get to. Boyd Paul Hammis, my announcing partner, and Andy Seiler, all of our tech crews, we get to park where the coaches park during the Texans. And so it's nice. Have you ever seen a 3-story escalator?
No.
We can fill that place, take 2 hours to fill it. We get out of there in 18 minutes. The arena is a football field, okay? And that football field then expands into the bowels of the building, NRG Stadium. And so by the time you put a rodeo on in there, they're the biggest big screens in the world. They face 4 different directions. There's not a bad view. And then you entertain 74,000 people. And I've got kind of a signature thing there that they actually registered. I start by going, hello, for as long as I've got to air Houston. And away we go. They swing the gates. In comes the grand entry, 250 horses, all the flags, all the big screens, and all the music that goes with it. And we do that for about 2 hours. And when it's over, here come the stars. Could be Jelly Roll. Could be Elvis. I've seen them all at Houston. And I think my favorite nights is when we have Christian music. Nobody leaves. They stay there. You see people of all kinds, creeds, and colors. There's no race card. There's no politics. We do not allow that. No matter who you are, how old you are, how long you've lived in Houston or came from New York City to see the show. And a lot of people do that. You leave there and you're fulfilled in your faith, fulfilled in music, fulfilled in Western entertainment and the Western state of life. Then you can go outside and go to the carnival. It's amazing. The carnival's 36 acres. There's 95 places to eat in the food courts. And the hot dogs in NRG Stadium are pretty good too.
Oh, that's great. What's special about the National Finals Rodeo in Las Vegas?
Well, you have to understand, when I started in this business 60 years ago, we had $3 million in total prize money and about 2,200 members of what was then called the RCA, the Rodeo Cowboys Association, now in the PRCA, the Professional Rodeo Cowboys Association, and the WPRA for the ladies, for the barrel racing and the breakaway roping. We paid $3 million then. It is now an $80 million a year payout. There are people that are winning $300,000 in actual competition and more in one season. It ends on September 30th. And it starts on October 1st. So the season is continuous. It never stops. Rodeo, it's a big thing. I like to say we buck them hard, and you're all welcome.
Tell us a couple of the craziest things that ever happened to you with the rodeo.
Oh, my God. Well, I've played rodeo in Australia, New Zealand, the United States, Canada, Mexico. John, every day is crazy to the average person who doesn't come from a Western lifestyle. I've seen fatalities. I've seen $1 million won at one time. I've watched every kind, color, and breed of bucking horse and bucking bull buck. I've watched them in the timed events. It was the calf roping is one of my favorite events because of the intricacy, the man, the horse, and the animal. I would say crazy. We're in the Astrodome one time, and we went, because of NASA being right there close, we went live on the big screen with the astronauts in space. That has to be the most important thing that I've ever witnessed and got to be a part of. Said hello to the president, said hello to the astronauts. They all talked to us. And Boyd and I got to stand there and look up and go, "You've got to be kidding me. We did it." And it was a perfect connection, 800,000 miles away.
This has been incredible. Thank you for being my guest on 15 on Fridays with Fletch. And folks, look forward to seeing you again next week. Thank you, Bob.
Thank you, John, for being my leader in faith and in the communications world for the last 25 years.